United States of America, which stands under one nation, to God, the home of the free and the land of the public. All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we are the twilight gathering of the rocket's red flare, DuPont's bursting in here. I pledge allegiance to America. Okay, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, all that good shit. Race 360, all that. This is my boy, man. Is religion fake? Christianity, Islam, Judaism come from the same place, Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the Mecca. The Mecca and Medina. All this is right next to each other. You know what finds me crazy? How Israel gets to do Palestine with all those other Muslim countries right there with impunity. They don't even think for a second these people are come hold their brothers in Islam down, because they won't. Because unlike us here in America who's following these Middle Eastern religions, acting like this is the end all be all, acting like God, acting like John and Michael and Rupert or whoever else is in them damn books wasn't just rappers in their day who got their name memorized. Muhammad, cap. All of that is cap. I'm sorry. It's cap. It's hard. It's going to be real hard to separate the American from Islam, because Islam is a cop-out religion in America for Americans, especially black Americans, especially black American men. If you want to be, especially in the 90s and the early 2000s, if you wanted to be lazy and be a black man and still be looked at as productive and smart, you just became Muslim. What he do? He work in the masjid. What he do? He sweeps the masjid and watches the kids. Where he live? He live in the masjid. Then he started getting they name him Abu Masjid, the father of the masjid. Then he winds up, pretty lady coming there. He wound up getting to marry her. And now he went from living in the masjid, taking care of the masjid full time, because he didn't have no place to stay, to living in that lady's house. I'm just, the black American man hides behind Islam. It's a cap. It just is what it is. Christianity, it's a cap. It's a way to be, in America, Christianity is a way to be religious, still act holier than thou. And because Jesus died for my sins, I could be OD judgmental and do mad sins all day. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and I'm sitting down. Majority of the people you see every day in America, if you're going through your daily day, is probably and possibly Christian. Then Muslim, and you're able to tell the Jews. So with that being said, it's safe to say when you see the most egregious acts in the day, that person's probably Christian. If you ask them, they're Christian. The odds of you seeing in New York City, you're liable to see 10 egregious acts in one day. The odds of that being 5 Muslim, 5 Christian, very low. 7.5 to 2.5. Facts. And these people commit crimes and do like sin like it's nothing. Why? Because they have like this blanket of Jesus died for my sins. My eyes is open, like Jesus died for my sins. I looked at myself in the camera. My eyes is dead ass open. I don't know why I look like that. Jesus died for my sins, or Muslims, I can repent to Allah. Nah, it don't work like that. That's why I think this is a farce. I think religion is a farce because I was listening to a study, and I know that they found out that Christianity, people call it the white man's religion, but then they found out that stories was basically stolen from some African stories way back in the day, Well, those stories were stolen from some other African stories from way back earlier than that. Those stories coincide with the same stories the Asians tell. They are all telling the same stories because y'all made this up together to control us, because y'all control us together now. One plus one is two. Terrence Howard math, one plus one is not always two. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, and I'm gonna break it down mad quick why that's true. One plus one is not always two. And I'm very literal. So I'll be seeing where Terrence Howard cap ass be going with some of the math shit he try to do, but I just see how he try to fool the people. One plus one is not always two. Watch this. You have one pile of things. You have another pile of things, right? That should be two piles of things. Like if you put it together, it's just one big ass pile of shit. I understand it, but whatever. I digress. I'm not here to change math. That's like reinventing the wheel. Everybody is aware of the concept I just said. I didn't teach you nothing. We all know that concept. It probably has a name for it and shit and all that. But I guess that's not Terrence Howard math because what I just said makes sense. And he be like 2 plus 2 is not 2. It's two twos. But it's not 22. It's not 2.2. It's not 2 dash 2, 2 slash 2. It's two twos. But I think 2 plus 2, I think this is 4. It bugs my mind how Terrence Howard got to be. But that's another thing with Terrence Howard. Because him and Bryson Carton, or whatever that other Billy Carton Bryson, they the reason why I'm doing these lives, because they got me charged up. They got me charged up because they be saying stupid shit and people be following it. But then I think religion the same way. Like Jesus walked on water. A little dude killed a giant with a slingshot. A man was swallowed by a whale. A town was turned upside down, melted, and then placed underwater because they were gay. But that same God who did that, because Allah and God Jesus did that, that's what I call the book gods. Because I'm gonna tell people a secret. Anybody here with me? Nobody here with me? What is it in the middle school? 1 plus 1 is 2, right? I'm in middle school, so I put 1 plus 1 on paper and I put something different. Yeah, no, I'm not telling you to, bro. Did you hear Shannon? Did you hear the last part of what I said? No. I said that's a concept we all understand. That one pile. I didn't say 1 plus. I said when I say 1 plus 1, I'm not that. What's the name of this? The number value you're using. 1 plus 1 is in adding 1 plus 1 to 2. I said one pile plus another pile doesn't always make two piles. If you smash them together, it makes one big pile. So I was trying to say that we understand the concept of what I said. I'm not teaching you that. We already know that shit. So I said maybe that is contrary to the math Terrence Howard be talking because I don't understand that bullshit. But the concept I used is not to rival math. It's just that some things we told is not what some things we told isn't what it seems, and we'll have a really hard time wrapping our mind around that. Like one pile plus one pile is not two piles; it's one big ass pile. It's not so it'd be hard to wrap your mind around. Islam and Christianity is the same exact thing. One has a thing called Arabism. Blew my mind. See, I was brought up. I had to turn Muslim, my mother turned Muslim when I was really young. So I was brought up Muslim, and then I found my own way. So I just don't do any of that, right? Somebody who watched me be Muslim, I used to learn the Quran and all that shit. So everybody around Brooklyn and shit know me, and they want to freaking give me gifts and shit just to recite the Quran because I'm black, right? Every time I go in the store and the Arabs is talking crazy about people, I start talking a little Arabic, and they get straight to the racism. I promise you. And I'm not one of them victimized black niggas. I am not a beta. So when you get in the Arab store and they talk Arabic and you come in there, you be like, Maya Smuka. That means what's your name? Be like, Kayfaholic has went through the world. Everybody knows Kayfaholic. How you doing? Be like, Maya Smuka. And they're going to say, Ishmi, my name is such and such. But they not going to say, where you from? Straight to the racism. Because they scared that you decoded their secret language, right? Boom, right? It's because fuck all that. We getting back to the Terrence Howard fake math and shit. Fuck all that. We don't have to go down. Say you got me going down the streets. We don't even have to go down. Like, come on, man. You got me explaining shit, and I was already explaining some other shit. And I already explained the shit you got me explaining, Shannon. Damn it, Shannon. Anyway, it's a lot of cap to decipher. These religions, I don't know if they're real or fake. But when I heard Terrence Howard saying, when I heard Terrence Howard and Billy Carson saying something about the religions, I was like, nah, I ain't fucking with it. Because whatever they fuck with, I ain't fucking with. If them niggas start drinking water, I'll stop. This nigga done. He said he could change the periodic table. This is where we at with it though, man, because it'd be hard to get people to think the concept of being an American and worshiping Allah or Jesus God is crazy because that's Middle Eastern gods. I gotta say it again. That's Middle Eastern gods. Why is it hard for Americans to understand that concept, but we could understand Buddha as being an Asian god? Buddha's from Asia. That's an Asian god. Pharaoh, the Sphinx, that's Egyptian shit. They Egyptian gods. Mugundi, I don't know who the fuck that is. America don't got no gods. America had supposedly the indigenous people or the natives or the pretendians, people like, I don't know, everybody, it's a war on everything now. So now people don't want to call them the Indians. They want to say black people were the real Indians. When to me, that's not true. That just don't feel right in my DNA. That's not true. It's just different things from America, right? But I'm just trying to think of the Brazil. They got that big ass statue, but I think that's some Christianic shit. So it's like they don't. North America, South America, Middle. We whatever religions. No, I'm bugging. That's in Spanish countries. They got their own shit going on. They got chupacabra and all that shit. They got some shit over there. They got Aztecs and Mayans and all that. They still got. It's a store called Tacos and More. It's called Tacos Y Mass. It's called Tacos and More. And each one you go in, they got pictures of these great pyramids that's made out of like grass and shit. All of them, you can look real hard and squint on the picture, and you can see where it says "Do not enter." Fuck out of here. That's from that movie where them people went in the damn pyramid in that Spanish place, and when they came out, the Spanish people chased them back in because they had to die in the pyramid because they was going to bring bad luck out the pyramid. That's the kind of pyramids they got over there in Mexico. I ain't going. Keep that and keep your shit on the other side of the wall too. Stop with Mexico got to stop bringing drugs to America, but that's a whole different story. That's a whole different fucking life, man. I'm just saying, man. Islam is like the remix of Christianity. Christianity already done had a remix though. It had the Old Testament and the New Testament. But then, oh my gosh. Okay, the Jews deal with the Old Testament, and I can't remember if it's the Injil or the Torah. Christian, Jew, one book is Injil, one book is Torah. I can't remember what the fuck it is. That ain't my thing. I just know the shit, and I'm just trying to say the shit because the shit I know, I gotta say so I can get rid of it out of my brain. It's like I'm clearing space. Like I don't need to know all this shit and keep it in my brain. Fuck it, right? So they got their books. They basically had a original version first. Without Christianity, there's no Islam, which is funny because Christianity kind of alludes to Islam at times, but then it shuns it at other times. But there's a clear they took a book out of the Bible just because it alludes to Muhammad, but then they wasn't able to take another part of the Bible out where also again alludes to Jesus' cousin Muhammad that's coming and he'll teach you the right way, right? So it's like, are we supposed to follow Islam? Because then y'all completely shun Islam. But then let me tell you the fucking brain dynamics of Christianity in America. That's what I'm saying. This shit in America is not real. Everything Muslims do in America, in the inner cities, Christians rule. They're the majority. So when you're coming up as a Muslim kid, you get teased by Christian kids, right? Because Christians rule, right? Everything Muslims do, Christians are supposed to do. Christians supposed to fast. The Christian woman is supposed to cover like Muslim women. The Christian boys are supposed to be scholarly like Muslim boys. The Christian girls are supposed to be modest like Christian girls. Everything to the T. Nuns are Christian. That's Catholic. That's the dress for Christian. That's the dress. But somehow, that's what I'm trying to say, it's cap. Somehow or another, it's a fucking divide. All right, let me tell you what's funny. You can't go, even though Christians are Middle Eastern religion, because that's where it comes from, all that Bethlehem and Jerusalem and all that shit, it comes from right there. It comes from where they're doing war at right now. I'll tell you some more holy shit. It's more going on in Palestine, between Israel and Palestine, that meets the eye. They're trying to take certain historic buildings because there's like a Masjid al-Aqsa or the Dome. There's two masjids across the street from each other, right where they're trying to take. One has the footprints of the beloved Abraham in it. The other has the ascension spot for like three different prophets: Solomon, Muhammad, and Jesus. They just want to own it for whatever reason. Maybe they want to destroy it because apparently, and don't get mad at me, Jews. I'm just saying what's in y'all books. They said in the Old and New Testament that the Jews killed 1,300 messengers. That's how they ended up with Moses and Aaron. And it would have been 1,301 if Moses didn't come down the goddamn hill fast enough with the two tablets with all the lightning strike words written in them from God, the burning bush. I'm not an atheist, because I sounded like an atheist just now. But listen, I'm not trying to strike down religion. I'm trying to strike down the thought of your mind being wrapped around something too tight to ever zoom out. God ain't gonna love you no less if you zoom out. That shit is capped. That's not real God. Them book gods ain't real God. Them stories don't even add up. Dave with the slingshot. Come on. It was a giant. This is what I'm trying to say. How many times has an ant made a fucking weapon that affected you? I'm gonna step on it. Mad quick. What are you doing? I don't even see what the ants be loading up their new weapons before I even see This nigga loaded up a slingshot, made a prayer, swung it, threw it. It hit the Cyclops in the eye. He got one eye. You threw one thing at one eye and he didn't see it. We got one big eye and he was kinda blind. Shut the front door. The Muslims got Juj and Majuj. The Asians got Gog and Magog. It's the same story, but the Muslim. See, this is where they get you at. This is where they crack you in the head, because the Muslims believe that Juj and Majuj is in the middle of the earth, and that there these two. But look, I'm about to tell you something. I was one of them really scholarly kids when I was a Muslim, so they took me to mad masjids. So the Muslims, the Arabs got Juj and Majuj. The Asians got Gog and Magog, but the Indians got Juj and Majuj too, the Indian Muslims, and theirs is different. Theirs is too big to be contained by Earth. So where's their Juj and Majuj? Their Juj and Majuj is in outer space. What their Juj, because all the stories are the same. What their Juj and Majuj doing? They're eating planets. Currently, right now, they're eating planets as a distraction until they can find their way back to Earth, where they're going to eat Earth in one bite. But before they do it, this is the Indian Muslim version. Allah is going to be talking to them, telling them to wait to find humanity on Earth, but he's not going to find it, because Muslims believe everything was already written. But wait a minute. Muslims believe in free will. But wait a minute, Muslims are not allowed to have an opinion, Allah said. Muslims are not allowed to question Islam. Muslims are not allowed to question Allah. It's a sin, nearly hell sin. Come on, man, I don't want no God that tells that to me. I don't want no God that limits my brain. Keep that one. That God is scared of me. Does that make sense? You got a God that's scared of me. The God that you want me to worship is limiting my brain. Don't think too much. The God that you want me to worship said, don't fathom God or your brain will explode. Nigga, I want to think about God. I don't want to not fathom God. If you don't fathom God, you can't fully think about God. You can't get in like Goku's God mode. Because you scared. I can't think. They be like, Muslims can't say Allah's name in the bathroom because that's the Beit ol Jinn, the devil's house. Nigga, wouldn't that be the best place to say Allah's name then? Get these niggas out of here. The jinns is here, the demons. I'm taking a shit in the bathroom. This how psychological this shit is for a kid. I used to be taking shits in the bathroom thinking if all the jinns was watching me, scared and shit. Nah, man, that shit ain't for no Americans. Islam ain't for no black American man, yo. Just kept us. And people, Muslims in America don't even know about what the Crusades is. Even though if you a '90s baby like me, you was taught that in school. But as time progresses, you get to know more about the crusade. These motherfuckers don't even know about the crusade. The fact that, skip that, the fact that people in America separate Catholicism and Christianity is crazy. It is crazy. One, if you go back into the historic histories of these two, Catholicism, Christianity, one that is whatever they are now used to be switched. And when it was switched from whatever, so if the Christians used to be Catholics and now they're Catholics, it's whatever it is now, Catholicism, Christianity used to be vice versa. Just like, okay, I'm saying it in a way that might be hard to understand. There was a time when the first 250 Republicans was black. The Democrats tricked the Republicans, very smart, I might say. They're good at this shit, man. They told the black Republicans that we're switching to Republicans because we like that party better. So the black people switched to Democrats, and then the Democrats switched back to Democrats and to stay with them, and then the Republicans looked at the race. This is like that. So it's like that. Whoever was this now, when it comes to Christian and Catholic, however they are, they used to be switched. That means the book they reading used to be the Catholic book, used to be the Christian book, used to be switched. But the kicker is the other ones used to be looked at as grapist. And then they had a freaking crusades. Because people think, look, I'm about to blow your mind. And I might tell you something you don't know. My eyes fake closed because I was smoking weed. Let me look. All right, you here with me? I'm about to tell you something. It might sound like I'm capping. You can look it up if you think I'm capping. I want you to look it up because I want people to always think I'm capping and look up the shit I say. Because I'm going to try to find shit that sounds far-fetched. So when I say it, it can sound like I'm lying. But when you look it up, you could be like, nah, this dude, he don't be lying. The Crusades didn't start Islam versus Catholics. Yes, it did. The Crusades was based about the Islam versus right. Islam. It was based about that. The Muslims came in to save the Christians from the Catholics. So the Christians went underground and they started trying to force people in Rome or wherever that shit took place. It took place in one of them Greek places where they were still on their Greek gods. And they was trying to kill the Catholics and the Christians. Islam had no place there because it was of a different origin. That little triangle that they came from, I guess they came from the side that's most Greek and European, and they was able to integrate Jews, Catholics. It was more. I mean, the Spanish side was more able to integrate with the Europeans, right? Because the Jews didn't have nothing to do with this shit neither. The part they play in the Crusades, you gotta look this shit up. The history is dope sometimes. The part the Jews play in the Crusades is almost like the part that Queen Elizabeth versus Hitler. Queen Elizabeth versus Hitler plays in the Israel versus Palestine war to today. She funded both sides. Some nigga that took his life and had a little stupid ass mustache said she would do that. But whatever, I digress because they don't never want you to say the truth when it comes to that nigga. So he's supposed to be the monster to us. Oh my God, Hitler. So, ooh, fuck Hitler. Let me make sure I say that for meta. Fuck Hitler. He's such a bitch. So, What part I was at? Because I don't want them to get mad at me for the Hitler, right? You got. I said the Queen Elizabeth shit, the freaking Crusades. The Catholics was slaughtering the Christians. The Christians went underground and was trying to convert everybody into Christianity, telling them that the sun god wasn't real because it was raining or some shit. I am dead ass. If I'm wrong about the specific of that part, it's basically that they it was too windy and they said the fire god didn't exist because if the fire god existed it would be warm and not windy. It was a situation like that. They was like, but if you pray to Jesus, right, but he wasn't famous to them even when they said he didn't. See, this is the funny part. They said he didn't exist, but I'm not here to teach you nothing. I'm just telling this shit. If you listen, right? They said that he didn't exist during the beginning of the Crusades, right? But the Crusades hasn't started, and it's called something else before that. It's because it didn't start. It started as the Romans or the Greeks or the Grecos or whatever, the people that prayed to Athens, Greece and shit, and to the hereafter world with Zeus and shit, they started slaughtering the Catholics. Nuh-uh, y'all can't bring this pagan religion here. Da 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 da. This is what we worship here. We worship da da. And it wasn't called mythology back then. That's what they real shit. They used to pray to Athena and Hercules and shit. Give me strength like Hercules. Now I can lift a mountain with my bare hands, right? So, because I was telling you about Gog and Magog. I'm about to get back to that right now. So they started slaughtering the freaking whatever, right? Because the people automatically assume the Crusades started with Islam and Catholicism. No, the fuck it did not. We gotta do some research. This is not our religions. This is not our religions. Put these shits in a movie and let us watch it. We don't have to be these religions because they from over there. We have, nigga, we better find our, man, fuck, you can't say find real God because then they're going to get mad at me. But them ain't our religions. It just is what it is. The Crusades is in school books, textbooks. It just is what it is, right? The Catholics were slaughtering the Christians. Same fucking religion. Ain't no Old and New Testament out now, I don't think. When the fuck the New Testament was made? After the Crusades. Because the switch happened. The switch happened. The Christians is underground hiding and trying to convert people. Catholics are seeking them out, killing them. While that's being done, the Catholics is at a war with the Greek religion people. So they're fake hiding from them, but they got this big temple that they're hiding or whatever, right? So boom, the Catholics is slaughtering the shit out of the Christians. The Christians get persecuted or exiled, whatever the word is. They go to what they do, what everybody does. They went to the Muslim country because I'm Muslim. It's easy to trick them Arabs. They got to be peaceful and nice with their religion, and you wind up just shitting on them. It is what it is. It happened to them. It's the cycle. It's the cycle of life. That's how I go. So then that's how the Muslims get involved saving these niggas because they tried to outlaw them and it just became a big war. And the war, if you think about it, if you think about the Crusades, it kind of never ended. It just took on the next leg because just like you could say it started, just like you could say the Crusades started. It's like, I hope you're picturing this shit, imagining this shit. I hope you're in medieval times right now, hearing the clanks and the freaking horse trot and all of that. Hi, hoy, matey, we have to get back at dawn. I hope you can picture this shit. It's wet, because you know in the medieval times when this war is always raining, and they got the fucking red crosses on them and stuff like that, right? But the Crusaders couldn't really stomp, because when they was trying to stomp, they were getting stomped. And then it pivoted when they tried to outlaw the Muslim niggas too. And the first they banded up together to fight Catholicism. Because these niggas was a bunch of touchers. This was some, if I'm lying, this is how, I wouldn't say it no way, I would lie too. I would lie. But I'm going to tell you what I'm lying. I ain't lying right now. I would tell you what I'm lying. I'm saying this shit the way I remember, and yeah, the way I remember it. Like I'm saying, remember like I was there, but the way I remember receiving the data, no Diddy. The Crusades, so now the Crusades go. It's a funny thing about the Crusades too is Mansa Musa. That's what I'm trying to say. This shit is not for us. Mansa Musa, Muslim guy, comes up during it. This nigga missed the whole Crusades. No, I think I'm lying. I don't think he missed the whole Crusades. Mansa Musa doing that travel when he created what we know as interest because he left gold everywhere he went. Then he went to go speak. This is what I'm trying to say. The history be so fucking dumb. Mansa Musa left the southernmost part of Mansa Musa left the middle of Africa, went to the southernmost part of Africa, leaving mad gold everywhere he went. Came back from the southernmost part of Africa, traveled through all the way to the northernmost part of Africa, leaving gold everywhere he went. And then he went to Europe. During this time, the Crusades was getting started. This is when the stomping out of the Christians was happening by the Catholics, right? And as this time is getting heated up, the Islam gets involved, which would have been his part. He has the biggest traveling army ever. That's what it says in textbook. That's what it says on the record books. That Mansa Musa traveled with the biggest traveling army ever due to his gold and popularity. When he spoke to the kings up in Europe, wherever he got, no one informed him that a war was going on, that the Crusades was happening. They be like, they depict black people stupid in history. I think black people are stupid. I'm just saying, like, why would the kings of that side tell him a war's going on where his people is facing belt right now? They facing the belt right now. He got the biggest. They said the army was so big when he got into town, it took a week for the rest of the army to get into town. What? Can you picture that? You know how what? They would have got slaughtered. You know why that's dangerous? Let me let you picture this. Picture why that's dangerous. Let's say that Mansa Musa screw his face up when he hear what's going on. It's the Crusades. He bug up like J Main. If somebody don't like that and they get scared because they know if he tell the troops to go, we losing. So they hit him with an arrow and get rid of him. Upper room. His army is taking a week to get in from that day. You're gonna lose. By the time the army realize he's dead, you're gonna be dead too. It's gonna take 2 more days for the rest of the army to get there. They're gonna have days worth of army coming there. I'm not telling Mansa Musa we had war with his people. They bribed him. Couldn't bribe him with gold. They bribed him with power and unity, and they told him that he's going to crash the economies of X, Y, and Z if he doesn't take back the gold he gave to the Africans on the way up. So what did he do? Instead of taking back the gold, they said take back the gold and create a bank system. Instead of doing that, he tried to create an economic system without a bank system. Instead of doing that, when he took some of the gold and said that they could borrow what they needed from caches or some shit like that, and he created interest. It's crazy how that shit turns for the whole world. Mansa Musa, they tell black people to look up to him like a hero. He had the most slaves ever. The most slaves ever. We are being duped. I am not here for the fucking cap. We are being, it's too early in the morning for this shit. I was just saying, we being duped. This nigga was Muslim. He didn't even hold down nobody. And he was not, Mansa Musa is not a part of the Crusades. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Whoever could see this, when you look it up, you're going to comment back like, yo, that's crazy. He traveled through Africa but then is that like a part of the story script? That feels a little NBA-ish. You know how in the NBA, how if LeBron does a layup while he's breathing and exhales after the layup comes out of the net, he's the first one in history to do that. But then that ties into some record that he broke of Michael Jordan's years ago that Kobe just couldn't quite achieve because he had to breathe. It just feels too scripty, right? Mansa Musa misses the whole Crusades while on his way to talk to the heads of the Crusades. Spain was trying to own more of Rome than Rome. You know what I mean? That's how I went, man. That's how I wasn't there. That's how I say. But now let's get to Moses, because I want to get to a boy named Obed. Let's get to Moses. Obed is like a descendant of Moses, if I'm not mistaken, or Obed, the man who taught Moses, because this is things we don't even think about. The man who taught Moses how to turn the staff into snakes is the same as the that wizard. His son is the one who taught Obed how to do the same things, right? I'm gonna tell you a story about Obed because we know the story about Moses and the Ten Commandments, right? He was doing sorcery and shit like that, right? And Moses was, I was saying, he was supposed to be killed, but them people wasn't killing him. He was too ill. The angel of death came to him. He punched the angel of death in the eye twice. You're lying. Look it up. At least that's the Muslim version. Oh, I didn't get the God. I'm gonna do the Gog and Magog in a second. Let me just take the Obey shit. So we know about Pharaoh, Moses going to see Pharaoh, throwing the staffs down, and his staffs was bigger snakes than he ate. His big staff ate the little staffs. Because they were snakes. Right? We know about that. So now, and then we know about David throwing the slingshot at Goliath's eye and the magical slingshot, right? So now there's a combined Islam story about that. Obeyed. He learns how to do sorcery from the same from the descendant of person who taught Moses how to do. I say the descendant. It's like the grandfather and grandson. It wasn't that far removed, right? Because not, I'm lying. It is a descendant because Obeyed happens after Muhammad, right? Because he's Muslim. Muhammad, right? Muhammad is the only messenger prophet that was his religion he preached. That's what I'm saying. That shit is cap. The Muslims, the Arabs knew what they was doing to hype the story up to keep it going. You gotta just look into the little things. It's a lot of mistakes that prove that this shit is cap. It's like religion is regional. God's not regional. Religion is very regional. It's just, all right, so boom, right? Obeyed. He's learning to become a sorcerer, right? And one day he's walking to his sorcerer after his first or second lesson. But the first time he walked through the sorcerer's castle, he could swear that every shadow was turning into an animal and follow him. And then it turned out that it was. And then he watched his sorcerer slaughter one of the animals, use the blood to make some sort of freaking and then, because I can't remember, he used the blood to make some sort of the shadows popped up on the wall, came back to life, and then the thing was back to life, and it was all good. He was teaching them sorcery, right? He was teaching them smoke and mirrors. So now Obeyed is on his way to see this dude, and he can't get there because there's a huge rhino covering the way. This nigga takes strings, prays over them, they turn into snakes, and he uses the snakes to scare. And the snakes approach the rhino, but the rhino just steps on the snakes and they turn back into ropes. Then he prays he prays to Allah. Oh Allah, Allahumma Rabbana wa lakal hamd. I don't know if he said that. That's a real Muslim prayer right there. That's not if you. That's a good prayer for everybody. That's like, oh God, let me do good. That's not actually what I said, but it's some real good shit. Rabbana wa lakal hamd is some good shit. Some good Arabic nice words. It's like hallelujah. No, Allahu Akbar is like hallelujah. I don't know. I'm not here for that. So the ropes get kicked back because it's sorcery. You dealing with Allah's creature. You dealing with God's creature. So he prays over the rocks. Oh Allah, please let me in front of these people. Throws the rocks. The rocks hit the rhino. The rhino flips over, falls down. Think everybody get the cross now. That is cap. That's cap. How come we don't know no stories about who and how they built the Sphinx? But I could tell you a story about when they stole this little boy's elephant. They stole Salam's elephant. True story. They stole Salam's elephant, and Allah put fire rocks in birds' mouths and dropped. Oh my God, this shit is so stupid. When you say the stories as an adult, it's like, how could I have ever believed this stuff was real? He walked on water. Have you ever tried that? Oh my God. he may have jumped over, because the walked on water is not the wildest shit to me. The wildest shit to me is when they said he walked past this man, he bumped into him and cured him of leprosy. I just feel like real God doesn't want you to be, your mind to be plagued with things like that. Real God be like, yo, real God be like side eye looking at people on earth like, that's the kind of stupid shit y'all believe. And then real God goes to different planets where shit is better at. Because on earth, we're kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, we're kind of stupid. I know God, I know real God is at different planets. I know real God do not hang out at Earth. We're kind of dumb. We're kind of Wakanda dumb. These niggas believe in Wakanda. And every hood in America with an elevator, there's pissing it from the niggas in the hood. There's a very simple equation to piss in the elevator. When you get off the elevator in any of these buildings, oh, I didn't eat food. When you get off the elevator in any project building in America, there are doors everywhere. Behind every door, except the utility closet and the incinerator garbage room, there's a bathroom. If you have to pee in an elevator, you don't even belong in that building. That means you can't use one bathroom behind any of the doors here. You don't belong in that bathroom. I think my logics make sense. I use simple logistics. I don't even remember where I was going with that. As soon as I said I want to eat, there's food on the stove. I'm ready to end this shit right now. Go all right, it's food on the stove. It's getting late. I'm not here to sway your faith. I shouldn't be able to sway your faith. Your faith should be locked in and solid. I'm not here to do the devil's work either. The devil is a crafty, cap ass nigga because he doesn't exist. God didn't create no devil. Why would God do that? Why would God torture? The God creating the devil, hear me out. I hope somebody's watching and you drive. God creating the devil is like a person who's been driving for 10 years going, yeah, make the speed limit 12 miles an hour. Why would I do that? Like, come on, man, that's cap. Because I want to test the people. Why would God want to test why would God want to test God's creatures? Why the devil only testing the humans of God creatures? Why the devil don't test the trees? People don't think the trees are living, breathing organisms. Trees communicate. Trees will make you sick if you're making the trees sick. Trees are organized organisms. If you live in close proximity of trees and they start to die, and the trees are able to decipher that they're dying because you're in its environment, you'll die first. Don't sue me, Instagram, YouTube. Don't get mad. It's the truth. That's a fact. The tree is not gonna let itself die when you're the reason it's dying. Anything, not just you. It could be a cow. It move over, get off this grass, or I'm a dog, which means you gotta go. Let me get off that side before they think I'm being threatened. I'm just playing. Apparently, allegedly. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It never sat right. I did a lot of Muslim studies. The funny thing about the difference between the Quran and the Bible is that the Bible got names. These niggas were so fiend out. Like, you got a litmus test, read this for what it was. The niggas in the Bible is no different from 50 Cent and Jay-Z. They're the rappers who got remembered from that era. Somebody was like, everything they say cross-references each other. Duh. Yeah. Duh. Of course, Frank 3:16 is going to coincide with Matthew 8:11, because we got to make sure that the stuff that we said that we agree with Peter, that Peter is the most respected, so that we get a little respected too. I'm not here for the cap. The difference between the Bible and the Quran is that the Bible, those niggas were so fiend out. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. Them niggas were so fiend out, they had to put their name in it. The Quran was smarter. Ooh, the Quran was smarter. This nigga smoked niggas. They titled every track. Instead of putting their names on every track like they did in the Bible, because think of it like an album. Instead of putting their names on every track like they did in the Bible, so you can know which rapper is rapping, they put titles. They got stuff like Al Fil, aka the elephant. They got stuff like Al Bakra, aka the cow. Al Fatiha, the opening. I still know that. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, Rahman Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. I'm not here to be talking different languages. Yeah. They're really good with that. That's all I wanted to say though, man. These people are really good with the tricks they put on us, man. I don't want to sway nobody's faith. Religion is peace, so I'm cool with religion. I just don't want people to be wrapped up so stupid in this shit where we can't think other things. Like, you gotta have an open mind and think other things. You got to. You have to. God don't want you to be closed. The real God don't want you to be closed up. And the, listen, let's call it what it is. Christianity is the religion of the slave owner. Islam is the religion of the slave owner. This is what I'm trying to say to niggas. Islam come after Christianity, but Arabs is the original slavers. This shit don't make sense. Allah, Allah predates Islam as an idol. Look, Allah predates Islam, the religion, as an idol. Where Mecca is now used to be, all I can picture is a table because they said a shelf or something where the Kaaba is right now. There used to be shelves of nothing but idols that was the worship of that time and town where Islam and Christianity and Judaism comes from. There used to be nothing but Aramaic religions that only worshiped idols. Sort of like how Islam plays with your mind and says no idol worship, but the Kaaba is an idol. Not only is the Kaaba an idol, the Kaaba is the idol. Now, I'm just keeping it what I think, what I can say from what I think and I know, what I assume and presume, because the Kaaba is the place where the idols sat predating Islam. This is where the idols sat on shelves out in the open before it was covered with the blackness. They say a meteor rock fell from the sky, and that's what they hold on to. And I'm not trying to hear shit like that. I'm not trying to hear, yo. When they told me that, they was like, yeah, you know, a part of the Kaaba is from a meteor rock. I said, what is this, Fantastic Four? I got in trouble for that. I said that in a masjid called Ahlul Sunnah, Ahlul Quran on Van Wyck on Queens. Got in trouble for saying that. They thought I was being disrespectful to Islam. I'm like, come on, what the fuck? I'm like this, because the stories sometimes just don't make sense. He walked on water. Moses punched the angel of death in the eye 3 times. Jonah sat in a whale. That's scientifically proven that it can't be done, but only God could do that if it was done. So there you know, all of that doubt that it could be done. Not that these bitch ass niggas recorded it. They didn't record this shit. That's some made up shit. They said, Lot, don't look back to the gay shit or you'll turn into a pillar of salt. So while they was running, his wife looked back, and while he was holding her hand, he noticed there was no weight in his hand, for his wife had turned into a pillar of salt. That is the story of Pompeii. Y'all just added the gay like they do to everything. They even had gay and True Blood. I'm just saying, it's not wrong. That's not wrong with gay people. I went off on a tangent just now. My bad. It's nothing. It's nothing wrong with gay people. I'm just saying, how do we trust these Middle Eastern religions? They're all Middle Eastern. We don't have no religion in America. Predating religion in America, the natives was doing rain dances, and I'm gonna tell you why it worked. It's called agriculture. There hasn't been enough rain here. These niggas do a rain dance in this big wide area. It shakes up the agriculture. You got these things going up into the air as they beat on the ground. I guess it made rain for them. I don't know. It wasn't something magical and not able to be understood. It was a rain dance. They thought the rain dance was they thought the dance was getting the rain. It was what they was doing to the ground beneath them that was going into the atmosphere and the environment which made the rain. But it's the same thing. That's what we had in America. And below America, we had the fucking Mayans and Aztecs and Mexico and shit that doing what they did. Then we got the people in Brazil and shit doing what they did. Then we had the Canadians. They probably was like Vikings or something because they were really close to freaking the Netherlands or whatever the fuck that shit, the Neverland or whatever that's close to the Finland or Greenland or some shit, iceberg. That's what they're close to, the Vikings. So I think the Canadians is Vikings. I don't know what the Canadians believe in, but that's another captured country by the Greeks or the France or whoever it is. That's all one place. The Europes. That's all one thing. Everything comes from one thing. Them Europe niggas, y'all could have Christianity and shit. That's why people think it's the religion of the slave owner. But it's not just that. This is what I was saying, some real funny shit before I get back to Gog and Magog, then I'm gonna end it. Islam is after Christianity. Allah predates Christianity because Allah was the biggest idol sitting where the Kaaba is now amongst hundreds of other idols for all the religions that were being worshipped and gods that was being worshipped. Muhammad broke all the idols except Allah, the big idol. Then Muhammad named Allah to be the God of Islam. Allah is not the God of Islam. That's what 1 + 1 would equal there. That's the two it would equal. That if Allah was an idol that predates the religion Islam, and Muhammad started Islam at Allah's behest, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi. Iqra means read. Muhammad was illiterate. Angel Gabriel took him in a cave. They said, Angel Jibril used to be so cool to me because they said to get past his wings, it takes 7 days. That's how big his wings are. That when he flaps his wings in the sky, it'd be lightning on the west side and lightning on the east side of the sky at the same time. That's how you know when Jibril in the sky. Man, I'm not trying to hear that shit. I ain't never seen no crap ass shit like that. That's how they get you in the mind. Every time it's a thunderstorm, you're dumbass looking up thinking you see Angel Jibril. You don't see that shit. Juj and Majuj. Because you got an African version, you got an Arab version, and you have a Asian version, and you have an Indian version. The Indian version is, I think I said this part already, is outer space. Eating planets. It's these two, all I could ever picture is these two big ass caterpillars, these vampire caterpillars eating space. They say they eat dark matter and shit like that. That's what's keeping them so busy. And that when Allah is ready, that Allah, the funny thing is that the Urdu people say that Allah is going to get, they say Allah in the Urdu. Like it's crazy. Because it's because of what Allah means. So that's the Juj and Majuj, that's the Indian version. You got the Asian version that's hiding in or behind the Great Wall. Oh, that is what the Great Wall was, but yeah. And look, this is where the story gets crazy. Because the Juj and Majuj, the Gog and Magog for the Asians, that's in the wall, it's slowly eating the wall. It's two of them, and they're slowly eating the wall. They're like this in the wall, eating the wall. They're trying to wait till they get to each other. But the wall, all right, see, they could have been had it done. According to the Asians, they could have been had it done. But the wall has been made with magic, so they're not getting anywhere. But doesn't that defeat the religious aspect? Okay, whatever. Let's move on because that's the Asian. We did the Indian, the Asian. It's time for me to eat whatever's in that pot. So then you got the African. I said the African. Then you got the Muslim version that Juj and Majuj is in the earth, in the inner earth. That there is society. Because there's another fucking sub subject to get to with this, which is flat and round earth, that Islam and Christianity promote both of them, but they really don't ever promote round earth. Why would they start this argument was started around the time, these religions were started around the time that argument got repopulated. It's a funny thing, just like marriage got popular with the sales of diamonds. Marriage under God means so much more than a piece of paper. But I digress. That's neither here nor there for me. Then you got Majuj and Juj that's in the earth, the inner earth, where there's a society in inner earth that fights them back, that keeps them back. But they're gonna start winning the fight when they kill this whole society. They will come to the gates that separate inner earth from regular earth, and they will be at the thing trying to eat their way through, trying to eat their way through. And what's stopping them is borders that every time they eat through one level, it falls down. But they're gonna keep eating their way through till they get out. Then what are they gonna do? Eat earth. That's unclimactic. That's what did you expect? That's they said the ones that's out of space, they're only one of them is gonna eat Earth. It's gonna eat Earth with one bite. The stories they tell us, this is some fucking bullshit. I just know the stories I heard, they just know how dude Muhammad was trying to get away from some people trying to kill him. See, why the prophets always had to run from people if they had God on speed dial? Like Beerus be popping out for Goku. Beerus is better than Goku. Nah. Goku's my nigga favorite character. He will beat the dog shit out of Superman. I hear people like Superman in his super form can fight. Goku will fuck Superman up. Superman can't fight. Batman be beating the shit out of Superman and he don't even have powers. Imagine what a nigga with powers is gonna do. Superman's fast. Goku's Ultra Instinct. When you start, he's at the end of the race. You still trying to get around a different country. The race over, he tells the instant transmission. Anyway, I digress. But nah, they say it's just because a lot of this shit is just like a lot of the stories. Like I could go on for days with the stories. I could go on for days and days with the stories. I've heard so many. I seen so many. I seen them do exorcisms and shit. Like, and I remember, like now that I'm older, I realize that they played a trick on me because I seen them do an exorcism in a masjid, and I swore it was real. I swore I seen black smoke falling out the person's ear, and before it hit the floor, it was just elevating above the floor. Now, as an adult, I know what that is. If you ever been in a truck that has freeze dried stuff in it, the chemical that makes the freeze dried stuff stay cold and all that, when it hits the floor, it kind of just floats above the floor. Motherfuckers tricked us. That's why we couldn't see it on camera the next day. We not listen, man. Listen, man. It's just so many things that this leads off into. It's so many things that this leads off into. Like, why is the Indian Majuj and Juj in outer space? Because when you track the story, that's how they let you know space is real. Shut the front door. Or how Islam promotes Shirk al-Akbar. It doesn't promote you to do that, but it promotes a thing called Shirk al-Akbar. That is the greatest sin. You can't come back. That is putting a God with Allah. That's putting a partner with Allah. But when you read the Quran, it says we, and it says the gods. The Bible didn't make that mistake, but was it a mistake? It ain't no mistake. This shit is on purpose. They playing with niggas' mind. They want us to go crazy reading these books. Come on, man. Muhammad didn't do nothing special but fight. Muhammad went to war mad times. Oh, and then he went on the trip, Isra wal Maraj. I wish a motherfucker would try to play me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I could dibble and dabble. I just studied this stuff enough to know what I'm talking about. I'm not a scholar in it. I just studied enough. And I was Muslim, so I had to know. Like Islam Miraj is where Muhammad gets his heart cut open by Jibril. Heart cut open, took out of his heart, cleaned with Zamzam water, placed back in his heart. He's placed on top of, he's told to sit on this sleek looking donkey thing that got wings on its feet, Baruj, and then it starts running, and when it runs, it flaps its wings and lightning comes out of the wings, and then it 2 flaps, it was out of this world. 3 flaps, it was in space. 4 flaps, it was at the first heaven. And you want me to believe this? Or how about the story where Muhammad, oh, this is what I was saying when I got sidetracked. How come all the prophets that have, this is how I got into Goku. This is what I meant to say. Because Goku got buried, because that's what I was saying. Goku's fucked up because he always let the fights happen and everybody gets killed. But then he got Beerus. Every time he need help, Beerus pull right up, right? Beerus pull right up, boom. That's how the prophets have God in their speed dial. But God let you get eaten by a fish. God let Muhammad get his tooth knocked out because Muhammad was at war and a battle had just happened. I think it's the Battle of Badr or whatever like that, or the Battle of Qadir, of Qatar or whatever like that. And Muhammad tell his people, at the end of the war, don't go for the treasure so fast. We have to wait and be diligent. Just wait. And then when people seen on one side of the mountain, they seen free gold, they started taking it. So Abu Talib was riding on his horse and he ran up to Muhammad on the horse and punched him in the face and knocked his tooth out. But why didn't God, Allah, use ultra instinct and shield Muhammad's face so that he wouldn't get punched with the sword? Ain't right? Nah, man, when Zamasu was about to freaking do some funny shit to Goku, to the other Guardian, Beerus and we stopped it. They put an oven mitt on his hand. Made him look, come on, man. I'm not here for that. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm just not. The stories never made sense. Jonah sat in a whale and prayed. You can't survive a whale's stomach. It has too many acids. That's already been debunked that that's impossible to happen. They said Jonah was sitting on a raft in his whale. I'm about to wrap this up. Solomon the prophet used to talk. He used to tie animals up and talk to them. That's how he was able to bag Sheba. He was able to bag Sheba because he sent a bird to her and a cheetah and they talked to her. And that's how he impressed her. Oh, was it Cleopatra? It was Sheba. And that's how they was. But think about it. Sheba and Solomon were supposed to be the greatest rulers ever. An equal king and an equal queen where the queen was the ruler. That's not equal. The stuff they tell us is so cap. Abraham. Like, people don't even know about Noah. People say that Noah built the ark and all this, but then they say Noah built a dish-shaped like thing. People are not listening to the story because they're trying to tell us that we're on a pie-like. See, this is where I'm trying to go with this. We're going to get into this flat earth, round earth. We're going to get there, and it's going to be a good one when we get there because we're not getting there tonight. This is just, I'm rambling, I'm just late. But, don't eat.
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you have some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Noah didn't make an ark like a boat. But if you pay attention to the story, not if you pay attention because that get people mad. But when I paid attention to the story, I heard what they was getting at. Dog on my attention now. As I paid attention to the story, I heard what they was getting at. Noah made the map, the flat earth map that these people think Tatooine and Asgard is on. That's what they're saying Noah made. But I think about it. I've always thought about it. How was it possible for him to repopulate all of these animals with just two of them? That's impossible. You know how much? No, it's not. That's how you start civilization. That's how you start crossbreeding. That means you got two gorillas that have a baby, but that's it. And then you have two zebras that have a baby, and that's it. Now you have a gorilla zebra. You have a garibra, a gariza, blah, blah, blah. How do you say that? How do you say zebra and gorilla together? You got a garibla. You got a orangutan mixed with a giraffe. You got a orangutan. No? I thought that was funny. Orangutan. This story don't make sense. So what they really said was that Noah made arcs, multiple arcs, and the arcs was Earth. The arcs was Asgard, Tartatua. The arcs was Minuscula, some stupid shit like that. Utica. That's how I knew they was running out of names. When you look at that flat Earth map and you start seeing Asgard, that's where Thor is from. Utica, that's a stop on the A train. Stop. Tartatua, what were you eating? Fish? You had tartar sauce? You didn't even try with Tartaria. Tartaria is literally tartar sauce with an IA at the end. But I'm about to wrap it up. I just wanted to spill my little spill. And I'm glad that I was there while I kept it real. Went past an hour, wasn't supposed to go past a deal. Book of Giants is African. Read the Book of Adam. No, that's where I got this shit from. Reading that kind of crap. Thank you, Malik. He said, preach. Yeah, bro. Thank you. I didn't even see Kabbalah, sorcery. No. When you go too far into the other shit, that's how you get this crazy shit. The black stone is a celestial object. Oh, my God. So you believe black seed oil cures everything. Well, I used to be sick, and I used to take black seed oil, and it never got me back not sick. If I can tell you, that's control. I'm about to smoke this weed because you want me to fall. Nah. I'm glad that you was here, Dwight Dorsey, because this is what we talk about. I'm gonna have a whole. The white man editor is the White Man Bible. Book of Enoch is African. Book of Giants is African. Read the Book of Adam. Read the Book of Jubilee. But listen. Y'all got stuff in Africa that predates Christianity, so why do we even want to go to that street? Why don't you want to know about the Aramaic religions or the religions that y'all made up in Africa? Why do you want to know about Christianity or Islam? That is just the popular religion. The most popular rapper at one time was Soulja Boy. That didn't make him the best rapper. That didn't make him the rapper to follow. Why you didn't? If you're going to say the most selling rapper ever at one time was Soulja Boy, that's who we gotta follow. You'll never want to hear the message. And those rappers seem prolific compared to you. So I'm saying the religion that was here before Christianity and the Book of Enoch, wouldn't that seem more prolific to you? As an American, you know what's more prolific to me than the Jerusalem religions, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism? That the natives was actually able to make it rain by using agriculture and the environment. They thought it was a rain dance. There ain't no rain dance. We know through science now there ain't no rain dance. That's what I'm saying. The black stone is a celestial. No. We are, as humans, the thing that we are ingratiated to, we'll defend and we'll make sure that we hold its honor and light up. The black stone is not a celestial object. It's a black stone. I have a black hat on. It's not a black celestial object. I just don't have a haircut. Right? You feel me? But it's been real. Thank you. This is my longest live ever. Enjoyed it. Holla at y'all. We're going to get to another live tomorrow.